We find out who the new #1 contenders are for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. We hear, sort of, from Shinsuke Nakamura. The hindered gender makes a bold statement against Randy Orton, and we have a result for the SmackDown Women's Championship that, well, not necessarily a plus or minus for neither the champion nor the challenger. We cover all this and more on this week's edition of the SmackDown Rebound. Hello everybody, my name is Conor, aka OKayFabe, your official SmackDown video correspondent for One Wrestling and OneWrestling.com. We welcome you guys back to another edition of the SmackDown Rebound. We're going to cover everything and anything pertaining to this week's SmackDown. Of course, we're talking April 25th, 2017. Payback is right around the corner. That sounds more intimidating when I say it out loud now. Oh, it's a pay-per-view. That's right. That's a pay-per-view. I gotta remember that. Focus. Anyway, guys, we thank you guys for tuning back into the SmackDown Rebound. Appreciate loving you here, guys. So make sure you give us your thoughts about what happened on this week's SmackDown in the comment section below, or make sure you follow us in the entire OneWrestling.com family on the various social media, including myself at OKayFabe, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/OKayFaber. Of course, follow at Big Slam Nation, at Big Ray Show, and of course, the legendary, the iconic Mr. Bill Apter at After One Wrestling. Let us know what you guys thought of this week's SmackDown. Of course, hit that thumbs up button. Of course, subscribe for more awesome content from all of us here at OneWrestling.com. Now, we're going to break and go right into the scheme of things. Shinsuke Nakamura kicking things off on SmackDown as he's about to be interviewed by Renee Young, but unfortunately, it gets cut a little short. Dolph Ziggler actually interrupts Shinsuke Nakamura and actually starts to insult him pretty badly. He doesn't even get a word in edgewise. Ziggler trying to interpret what Shinsuke Nakamura was saying, mentioning that Nakamura was basically saying that, Ziggler was his influence and just all this other, BS that basically Dolph Ziggler is trying to say that Nakamura was saying in Japanese, even though he didn't get it one in word edgewise. Nakamura, and then he starts making accusations that Nakamura's name was Michael, and that he owned a Ferris wheel and had a best friend named Bubbles that was a monkey, insinuating that Shinsuke Nakamura was Michael Jackson. Very odd. Nakamura then grabs the mic from Ziggler and asks Ziggler what his problem is, but before Ziggler has an opportunity to answer, he says that he was going to translate and interpret for Ziggler. He basically goes on and talks in Japanese, except for one word at the very end, which was jackass. Ziggler then, of course, goes for an attack on Nakamura, but Nakamura coming up back really quickly, turning around, almost setting up for the Kinshasa kick, but Ziggler gets out in the nick of time. Very interesting, and I'm very curious to see how this is going to all unfold. Presumably, we're going to see these two face off at Backlash, which is the first SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view coming up to you guys in May. The tension's building, the tension's rising. You can really sense it, obviously, from this one. And I'm kind of glad because, obviously, we saw Ziggler in the six-pack challenge last week for the #1 contendership. So to see him here and see him continuing with Nakamura, very happy to see that keep going. Anyway, Styles versus Corbin. AJ Styles against Baron Corbin, one-on-one. Much better matchup, in my opinion, from what we saw compared to last week. Kevin Owens at commentary during the entire time. I'm never going to get used to KO in a suit. Just never going to get used to that. That's just really a weird mental image for me to still kind of wrap my head around. But in any case, much better matchup, a lot of crazy back and forth action between the two. Corbin looking fantastic, hitting almost like a variation backbreaker. Styles going for a sliding forearm shot. Great action between both men. As AJ Styles goes for the finish, he looks like he's going to hit the phenomenal forearm. Kevin Owens actually distraction with the apron. Even though he misses, he's able to roll up Baron Corbin into pinfall and get the 1, 2, 3. AJ Styles, your victor, but instantly attacked by both Kevin Owens and Baron Corbin simultaneously. Sami Zayn coming in for the save, helping clean out house, but of course Kevin Owens is able to help clear him out, allowing him to hit a pump-up powerbomb on AJ Styles and pose as the new face of America with the WWE United States Championship. I loved everything about this match. Personally, the only thing I would change, the only thing I would slightly change is giving Baron Corbin the win here. And the reason being is because if you're going to ultimately have Kevin Owens presumably against AJ Styles, you're going to get to that point where you need to start getting some build and some momentum. And considering that AJ Styles already beat Baron Corbin last week, to me it would not taint anything if Corbin was able to get the win over Styles, especially with Kevin Owens at commentary. Could have done the exact same finish, but instead Corbin actually reversing after the missed phenomenal forearm and planting the victory there. It just makes elevates Corbin. Could have done the exact same thing everything else with them double teaming Styles afterwards. Sami Zayn coming in for the save. That could even build up a potential feud between Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin down the road. Now, we head into the tag team division, tag team Beat the Clock Challenge. I don't know about you guys, I was very confused at this concept, and I shouldn't be. We've seen Beat the Clock challenges before. Various single superstars face off in one-on-one matches. Whoever has the best time is declared the winner of the Beat the Clock challenge. This one is a little different. It's, of course, tag team style. We had 2 tag team matches. First up was the Colognes against American Alpha, and the other one was Breezango against the Ascension. Colognes and American Alpha was not as good, I think, as their last up match, but again, timing is taking into heavy consideration, with American Alpha hitting the grand amplitude and getting the win at 5 minutes and 17 seconds. Later on in the evening, Ascension actually goes on to pretty much pummel Breezango for the most part, but Breezango with an upset not only over the Ascension, but also getting the upset over the Beat the Clock challenge. That's right, Breezango is now the new #1 contenders for the SmackDown Tag Team titles at Backlash, and I am thrilled, I am pumped, I am elated to hear this news. I can't wait. I think it's going to be, the Usos to me have been on fire and on their game for quite some time, last couple of months on SmackDown. Obviously the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. To me, this is going to be good. If they're going to give them free reign on Backlash to do what they want, you got some good matches coming right there. These guys are absolutely going to be fantastic. Finally giving the opportunity to Breezango to go for that gold or silver, whatever way you want to put it. I think this is going to be a great tag team match to see at Backlash. The only thing with American Alpha versus the Colognes is that I think, much like them, they can also put on some great tag team classics. Their match last week I thought was a lot better, but obviously, it's a different scenario. We're taking time into consideration. It's shorter matches because of the Beat the Clock challenge, the whole premise of the whole match. I think, though, they should try to avoid having them have a tag team match again, but ultimately bringing them back in. I'm loving the rivalry, loving the feud. I think that we get some exquisite matches. I think obviously the Colognes have been treated much better lately on SmackDown than they have been on Raw. So I think if we just keep that momentum going, we could get some real, again, much like the Usos and Breezango, some great tag team matches. And I think the tag team division is definitely coming back in full force over on the Blue brand. Now, something to really quickly mention. I love this. Love this. Huge fan of Ruru, for those of you who don't know, I'm talking about Rusev, who have not seen on SmackDown since the Superstar Shakeup. That's a lot of S's in that sentence. But the reason being is, of course, Rusev is out with a shoulder injury, but should be back, hopefully, I believe, in the next month and a half, if I'm not mistaken. Rusev then cuts an interview promo saying that he doesn't like the fact that he's on SmackDown. He doesn't like Shane McMahon. He doesn't like Daniel Bryan, and he doesn't want to be on SmackDown. He said the only way he will wrestle on SmackDown is if he gets a WWE Championship match at Money in the Bank, which is the next SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view after Backlash, presumably in June or July. I love this. I love everything about this. I am so happy. One of the reasons I am so pumped that Rusev has come over to SmackDown is because I think Rusev could definitely be, and absolutely deserves to be, a top contender for the WWE Championship. Obviously, with Raw being a very star-studded show, I think SmackDown being the land of opportunity and then some, this is a great way, a great platform for Rusev to go to that upper level and to get that title opportunity. I've been waiting for this for so long, and I didn't think it was going to happen on Raw. Obviously, it didn't, but now SmackDown, more or less, we've got Rusev most likely in the main event of Money in the Bank, and I'm pumped. This is great. SmackDown being the land of opportunity. You got Jinder Mahal as your new #1 contender, Rusev possibly getting a title shot, and now Breezango are the #1 contenders for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I'm loving SmackDown. Have I told you guys that lately? It's not that I have my own show on One Wrestling or anything. Anyway, next up we got Randy Orton against Eric Rowan. No disqualification. I love this because a couple of reasons. Number one, it was much better than their match that we saw a couple weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Number two, what I really liked about this is that this gave you an opportunity to see a no disqualification match. Not too crazy or outgoing. We saw tables, kendo sticks, and chairs. But it also gave preface to the House of Horrors match that we're most likely going to see at Payback, which still a lot of mystery and intrigue and uncertainty as far as what's going to go down with that match this coming Sunday. But it gives you a little bit of a preview. Great spots with Rowan being put through, or I shouldn't say even jumping. He got put through a table after he was hit with a kendo stick off the apron. Eric Rowan getting hit with a steel chair as he sidestepped into the turnbuckle, RKO, and Randy Orton getting the victory over Eric Rowan. No real shock or surprise in that one. Very good matchup. Very entertaining, though. Much better than I actually expected it to be. I thought this was going to be a very quick matchup, but no. Stretched out for just enough time, gave enough importance. Eric Rowan getting a lot of good offense as well, too. Very pleased with this matchup from the top to the bottom. Right afterwards, Randy Orton cuts a promo, basically saying that the House of Horrors match will be Wyatt's eternal hell. But then Jinder Mahal shows up. Jinder Mahal is basically furious that Randy Orton is not acknowledging him, and he feels like he's being disrespected, as he is, of course, the new #1 contender for the WWE Championship at Backlash. He mentions how he is going to win the championship and the title for his people at Backlash. He then continues to speak in Punjab and then goes to attack Randy Orton. Orton coming right back, looking to go hit that middle rope DDT, but the Bollywood boys strike again as they help Randy Orton, or excuse me, I shouldn't say, they help Jinder Mahal grab Randy Orton, pin him down, allowing Jinder to beat him up and, of course, walk out with the WWE Championship. That's right, Jinder Mahal stealing the WWE Championship. Don't get any funny ideas. You've got the real one. Let me keep mine, Jinder. I thought this was perfect. I thought this was needed, to be honest with you guys. Obviously, Jinder becoming #1 contender is a very big shock, and not a lot of people I've seen are fans of this. But again, SmackDown, the land of opportunity, and the one thing that I at least appreciate and I think they need to do is they need to make Jinder look really strong. I think adding the Bollywood boys elevates his level a little bit, having some, and no disrespect, lackeys or some henchmen to have people go through, makes him be seen in a different light. So I think that they really need to make Jinder look like an absolute credible threat to the WWE Championship heading into Backlash, and they need to do this pretty much every week leading up to Backlash because we're going on such a major jump from, Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and Gronkowski to main event of Backlash almost in less than a month's time. So we need to have, they need to make sure that Jinder is perceived in the right light, and I think this is definitely the step in the right direction. We'll see how things play out. We'll see how things unfold, but I also want to hear you guys' thoughts about Jinder becoming the #1 contender and all this fun stuff. Let us know down in the comments and hit us up on the social media. Now, main event time, Charlotte versus Naomi, SmackDown Women's Championship. Very solid match. This matchup was actually paced much differently than I expected it to be. I thought that we were going to see, I didn't think we were going to see what we saw, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying is that I thought we were going to see Charlotte coming in, as the queen, who was dominant and just, had this presence about her, was killing it over on Raw, and now she's over here on SmackDown. I thought she was going to steamroll right through Naomi. I thought she was going to steamroll right through Naomi and win the SmackDown Women's Championship here tonight, but of course that was not the case. Not only did she not win the championship, but she also played things out on an even keel, and Naomi actually ended up looking on the same level as Charlotte. Both women looking fantastic in this match. Great athleticism from both of them. There was even a spot where Charlotte caught Naomi in her Hurricane and power bombed him. I've never even seen her do that from her before. But it was just a great action from all of them. Of course, the ending came when Tamina, Natalya, and Carmella all came into the ring, attacking both women, laying them both out with Tamina super kicking Charlotte. Match is thrown out as the three women who are upset that Charlotte was getting the SmackDown Women's Championship, double team, or triple team, I should say, both women to close out the show. Honestly, I'm going to be completely candid with you guys. I'm not a fan, personally, of this idea, and there's a main reason behind it. It's not necessarily against Tamina, Carmella, or Natalya, or any of the women that are actually involved. My concern is with the division itself. Currently in SmackDown, you have 6 women in your women's division. The 3 women I just mentioned, Tamina, Carmella, Natalya, and you also have Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Naomi. Those are your only 6. Of course, Nikki Bella is out with injury, and we haven't seen Eva Marie in quite some time. So we're going to presume that right now, for those 6 women, are going to be the key focus group. My concern is that if we're going to start this 3-on-3 scenario, because I'm assuming Becky Lynch will also probably get into the fray as well too, that we're going to see a focus on this 3-on-3 scenario. And when you see a team-focused feud, usually a singles championship gets thrown into the back burner. Again, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it's a little concern of mine. For those of you who remember a couple of years ago, we had Team PCB against Team Bad against Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and Alicia Fox, and I felt like the Divas Championship at first was thrown into the back burner, not really paid too much attention. It was more about these new women, the Divas Revolution, etc. and so forth. So I'm worried that that's going to happen over here on SmackDown as well, too. But other than that, I really enjoyed the SmackDown overall, even the women's main event, to be honest with you guys. The Beat the Clock Challenge was fun and exciting, a little confusing, but I got over that. No DQ match was just fun between Randy Orton and Eric Rowan. Love Styles versus Corbin, Nakamura, and Ziggler was cute, a little confusing, and I loved, of course, Rusev's threat to winning the WWE Championship match at Money in the Bank. It's really going to be interesting. SmackDown, of course, is a big land of opportunity, and I'm very curious to see how things go in the future. But of course, guys, that's just my opinion. It's time for me to hear what you guys have to say. What do you guys think of this week's SmackDown? Did you guys like it? Did you guys not like it? Favorite match, least favorite match, favorite moment, least favorite moment. Looking forward to, as far as Backlash goes, all that and more. Let us know down in the comment section, and make sure you hit us up on the various social media. Again, myself at OKayFabe, at Big Slam Nation, at Big Ray Show, and of course, at After One Wrestling. All the links for the entire OneWrestling.com family are provided down the link in the description box below. Hit the thumbs up if you guys like these videos. Of course, subscribe for more awesome content from all of us right here at OneWrestling.com. I'm going to wrap things up here on the SmackDown Rebound. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. And to quote the legendary, the iconic Mr. Bill Apter, we will see you at the matches.